Your feet begin to tingle late at night. Your hands sometimes feel numb for no clear reason. You may notice burning sensations, sharp discomfort, or strange electric feelings that seem to come and go. And perhaps the most frustrating part is this: no one has given you a clear explanation. What if I told you there is something many older adults are exposed to every single day that quietly damages the nerves over time, often without obvious warning signs? This is not about chasing comfort or masking sensations. This is about understanding what may be irritating the nervous system and learning how to reduce further harm while there is still time. I encourage you to stay with me for the next few minutes because what you're about to hear may help you better protect your nerve health and preserve your independence. I've spent many years listening to older adults talk about numb feet, burning sensations, balance changes, and discomfort. They were told they simply had to accept as part of aging. One of the most common and most discouraging stories people are told is this: it's just age. It runs in your family. There's nothing you can do. In many cases, that story is incomplete. Before we continue, take a moment to reflect. Have you noticed tingling, numbness, or unusual sensations in your hands or feet? Have you ever been told your blood sugar is a little high, but not high enough to worry about? Awareness matters because the nervous system does not usually fail all at once. It changes slowly, quietly, often for years, before symptoms become impossible to ignore. Let me share a story. A man I once spoke with, we'll call him Frank, was 68 and recently retired. He stayed active, walked regularly, and considered himself fairly healthy. Yet at night, his feet burned. During the day, his toes felt dull and unresponsive. From time to time, sharp sensations would appear without warning. He was told it might be circulation or age or simply something he would need to live with. But when we looked more closely at his daily habits, something stood out. There was a repeated exposure, something he believed was harmless, that was quietly irritating his nerves day after day. When that exposure was reduced, the discomfort did not disappear overnight, but it stopped getting worse. And that changed everything. To understand why this matters, it helps to understand how nerves actually work. Nerves are living tissue. They are not simple wires. They depend on steady oxygen, proper nutrients, and a balanced internal environment. Unlike skin or muscle, nerves recover very slowly. This means damage can accumulate long before discomfort becomes noticeable. By the time tingling or numbness appears, irritation may have been developing for years. Now, here is where things may feel uncomfortable, but important. One of the most common irritants to nerve tissue in older adults is not something dramatic or rare. It is not an industrial toxin. It is not even alcohol by itself. It is repeated blood sugar spikes. And this is critical to understand. You do not need to have diabetes for blood sugar fluctuations to irritate nerves. Repeated spikes over time are often enough. When blood sugar rises too high, sugar molecules can interfere with nerve fibers and the tiny blood vessels that nourish them. This creates inflammation and stress inside the nerve tissue. Over time, nerves struggle to send clear signals. That's when sensations change. First tingling, then numbness, then discomfort, and eventually problems with balance. This process rarely happens suddenly. It develops quietly, often while people are told everything looks mostly fine. Many older adults have been told they are borderline or pre-diabetic, or that their numbers are a little elevated but not serious. That stage is often where nerve irritation begins. The challenge is that the source of the problem is rarely obvious. Many people believe they eat well. They believe they are making healthy choices. The difficulty is that certain foods and habits sound healthy on the surface, but create sharp blood sugar rises underneath. Here's how it often unfolds. You eat something that raises blood sugar quickly. The body releases insulin to move that sugar into cells. Over time, cells respond less efficiently. Sugar remains in the bloodstream longer. The longest nerves in the body, especially those reaching the feet and hands, are exposed repeatedly. The tiny vessels that supply those nerves receive less oxygen. Gradually, nerves become irritated and undernourished. Because this happens slowly, people often say it appeared out of nowhere, when in reality it had been building for years. You might wonder why not everyone with higher blood sugar experiences nerve problems. The answer often comes down to frequency, duration, and individual resilience. Some nerves tolerate irritation longer than others, but once a certain threshold is crossed, symptoms can appear quickly. So, where does this irritation come from in daily life? One major source is liquid sugar. Fruit juice, sweetened coffee drinks, flavored beverages, and even smoothies allow sugar to enter the bloodstream very rapidly because there is little or no fiber to slow absorption. Older adults are often encouraged to drink these because they feel gentle and easy. Unfortunately, they are one of the fastest ways to stress the nervous system. Another common source is refined carbohydrates eaten on their own. Bread, cereal, crackers, rice, and pasta, especially without protein or healthy fat, break down into sugar quickly. Easy digestion often means rapid sugar release. A third source is constant snacking. When insulin remains elevated all day, nerves never experience a recovery window. Stability matters more than perfection. There is another piece many people are never told. Certain medications can interfere with nutrient absorption over time, particularly nutrients that nerves rely on. Vitamin B12 is one example. It plays an essential role in maintaining the protective coating around nerves. When levels drop, nerves can become fragile and misfire. I once spoke with a woman who had experienced numb feet for years. Her diet was not the issue. A long-term medication had quietly depleted her B12 levels. Once that was addressed, her symptoms stopped progressing. Not reversed, but stabilized. And that made a meaningful difference in her daily life. Nerve discomfort is rarely caused by one factor alone. It is usually a combination of blood sugar fluctuations, inflammation, nutrient depletion, and circulation changes. But blood sugar instability often acts as the accelerant. That's why addressing it early matters. Here is the most important message I want you to hear. Nerve changes are not always reversible, but they are often preventable from getting worse. Preserving function, balance, and confidence matters. And progress does not require extreme measures. The first priority is blood sugar stability, not chasing perfect numbers, not aggressive restriction, consistency. Every sharp spike irritates nerve tissue. Fewer spikes mean less irritation. One simple rule many people have never been taught is this: avoid eating carbohydrates by themselves. When carbohydrates are paired with protein or healthy fat, absorption slows dramatically. The same food that irritates nerves when eaten alone becomes far gentler when eaten correctly. It's often not just what you eat, but how you eat it. Liquid sugar is best avoided entirely. If you enjoy fruit, eating it whole in small portions, and after meals is far gentler than consuming it on an empty stomach. Nutrients matter, but more is not always better. Certain nutrients support nerve structure and signaling, while excessive amounts of others may cause problems. This is why testing and guidance are important, especially when medications are involved. Reducing chronic inflammation also helps calm nerve sensitivity. Highly processed foods and excessive sugar increase irritation, while whole foods, healthy fats, and gentle movement support circulation. Movement does not need to be intense. Short walks after meals help stabilize blood sugar and improve blood flow to nerve tissue. Even 10 minutes can help. Many older adults feel discouraged when they hear that nerves recover slowly. That is true, but stopping progression can be just as powerful as reversal. Less discomfort at night, better balance, more confidence moving through the day. Those changes matter. One of the most harmful beliefs people are given is that nothing can be done. That belief alone causes many to give up too early. Early warning signs are not verdicts. They are signals that something can still be adjusted. If there is one takeaway from today, it is this: you often have more influence than you've been led to believe. Understanding what irritates nerves and reducing that exposure can help preserve what matters most: your mobility, your confidence, and your independence.